On our farm, we do a lot of weird things, and sometimes you feel like you're the lone voice crying in the wilderness, and then you get together at a PFI social or the annual conference and you feel like, yeah, these are my people, I am home.
As farmers, we like animals and crops, growing food, and the peace that our farms can provide. But at Practical Farmers of Iowa, we're about growing more than crops. We're about growing communities.
We've seen a few Japanese beetles around here, but they don't seem to like it.
My name is Ann Franzenberg, and our farm is called Pheasant Run Farm. It's a family farm, so I farm with my husband Eric, our son Calvin, and we also farm with Eric's mom and dad, Don and Pat.
Hi, I'm Mark Peterson. My wife Melanie and I farm southwest of Stanton on a farm that we call Bentgate Farms. We raise corn, soybeans, and once in a while some small grains.
We're a very diversified farm operation, so in addition to the traditional corn and soybeans that you see growing in Iowa, we also have vegetable production in greenhouses. We have fruit production outdoors, and I grow cut flowers.
I am a member of Practical Farmers because I love the sense of community. And by community, I mean the idea that regardless of what kind of farm a Practical Farmer member has, they seem to be willing to share the experiences on their farm that help me to make decisions on my farm that are economically and environmentally sound.
My favorite draw to Practical Farmers of Iowa is that it's a big tent organization. I love getting together with PFI members. They're extremely friendly, and it doesn't matter what your farm operation is like, or whether you're just a friend of farming. I like the fact that we can all work on what's best for our farm and still have friendly conversations, even though we might have differing opinions on how to be profitable.
An interesting thing about Practical Farmers of Iowa is we are a Big Tent organization. And what I mean by Big Tent organization, one way to visualize it is you can go to a Practical Farmer event and you'll see a pickup parked next to a Prius, parked next to a bicycle. Now, how much bigger tent does it get than that?
Well, because we're practical. And we have awesome potlucks. And the food is always good whenever you get together at Practical Farmers of Iowa. But besides all of that, I think it's a really great way for anybody to have contact with agriculture of any kind. So if you are a farmer, it's also a really great way for you to look for ways to diversify your operation, or even just to have, just to meet people from a wide variety of backgrounds.
What I have found in meeting with other PFI members at a field day, at the annual conference, or any of the number of events that we put on during the year, is that regardless as to whether you are an organic vegetable farmer or a fully conventional row crop farmer, there is so much information that can be shared that maybe on the surface you wouldn't realize is information that is useful, but once you get to visiting with the other members, you find out that there are takeaways that you can take home and use in your own farming operation.
A few years ago, I talked with someone who had just joined PFI, and he was a row crop farmer. And he said that before he joined PFI, he had felt like he was just on a treadmill, and that he's just doing the same thing year after year, and he didn't have any way to get off the treadmill except falling down, and you don't want to do that on a treadmill. And he said that PFI gave him an avenue to figure out how to do things differently on his farm. And I think that's really a great metaphor for what PFI does.
At Practical Farmers, we have something for everyone. Field days and conference sessions and webinars and videos and podcasts on cover crops and small grains and fruit and vegetables to support for those hoping to start farming, to those just starting out, and to those looking to pass their farm on to the next generation. But to do this, we need your support.
Please join us.
Please join us today.
To join today, visit practicalfarmers.org/join.